Here on GoPSUSports.com with head coach Patrick Chambers. Patrick, I feel like we've seen you and the team everywhere from the Bahamas to the top of Mount Nittany. How has the offseason been and how exciting is it to be back?
First of all, it's awesome to be back because I look forward to seeing the development, the team, and how they're going to compete this year. We had a terrific summer. We really did. Our team stayed here both summer sessions. We were able to practice 10 times because of the foreign tour. The Bahamas was just incredible. I don't know if you've ever been.
I have not.
Atlantis was great, and they got to enjoy, some time together, bonding. It wasn't all about basketball. It was all about, chemistry and getting to know one another, and the slides at Atlantis and the pools and the beach and all that fun stuff. And then we competed in two the first game was really difficult, double overtime with a great win. Second game, we had a nice win. Then we actually practiced down there too. So I think we really grew up down there. We really matured and got to know each other as a total program. And then this preseason's been great. Everybody's, for the most part, doing a really good job.
Going back to that Bahamas game, the one that went into double overtime, and even the one after, was there anything, that you learned about your team that you didn't necessarily know before?
We got down by 13, and maybe the past year we don't turn that thing around and come back and take the lead and then win it in overtime or the double overtime. I really saw a desire. I really saw a pride that we're not losing this game. They really drew that line in the sand, that line in the sand. Like that's it. And for me, that was a huge breakthrough moving into the season because you can draw upon those experiences. The experiences last year, well, maybe we came up a little short in certain places, but now it's fresh in our minds that we just did it.
You mentioned last season, at the end of the last season when we talked, you mentioned the process and this all being part of the process. I'm curious, where is this team right now in the process and what's kind of been the focus of this preseason?
So the focus for me is three. It's leadership. We really need guys to step up and lead one another, hold each other accountable. Really important, and show that love in the locker room, show it in games, and show it in the practices. So wherever we are, just take care of one another. That's going to be the foundation, really. And then as far as basketball is concerned, it's all been about defending and rebounding. We gave up close to 73 points last year. That's just too many. That's too many. We're in the bottom of the league in defending and rebounding, and that's not a good recipe for us. So we got to get our identity back. And that's what we've been working on preseason, last 10 days of practice. So if we can come out and get some stops, because we can score. We scored 72 in the non-con and 71 or 70 in the Big Ten. So if we keep that scoring and maybe get it even a little bit higher, now we can hold people down to 65. Now you're seeing wins.
You mentioned leadership. Are your leaders right now on this team, your veterans like Shep and Josh, or are you kind of relying on some of that talented freshman class that we saw last year that's now sophomores to be able to step up and fill some leadership roles?
So absolutely. So Shep, no question, senior, been there, done that. Josh, 100%. He wants to be a leader. He's asked to be the leader. He wants to put himself in that position to lead this team to success. That's why he committed here. He committed here to be a trailblazer, to turn this thing around. And then Tony and Lamar. So that's my leadership council. So I don't know if we're going to assign captains or not yet. I'm trying to I'll feel that out. But right now our leadership council is those four guys. And, because of the experiences last year, Tony and Lamar really need to step up as well. So those four guys, if they can really get together, maybe one guy's better at something else or a certain area, I think we got good leaders now.
Where have you seen that freshman class that's now sophomores, where have you seen them grow the most in the preseason?
Wow, they're just more consistent and they're stronger. Man, Greg, as our strength coach, has done such a great job of building these guys' bodies up. And, when you're looking good and feeling good, the mind, it comes right along with
confidence.
it. Total confidence is right. So that's what I'm saying. I think they understand practice now, when maybe last year they went into it and like, whoa, this is crazy. We have to do all this and be up here and we have to be here at this time. Wow, heads are spinning, it's blowing their minds. But now I feel like they're very, not comfortable, but understand and embrace what they have to do to be successful.
And then you added some freshmen. I'm curious, what those guys are looking like right now and how they're handling that transition from high school to college.
They, surprisingly, not surprisingly, have probably been the best freshman class coming in as far as handling everything that's thrown at them. Because when they come here for summer session too, and most of these guys here, both summer sessions, and they came in very strong, in really good shape. So it wasn't like we had to wait for them or they couldn't make runs and they had to redo things over. No, these guys came in shape. They're excellent in the weight room. They did all the little things that we asked them to do. So I've been really impressed with their level of effort and approach to how we do things here.
And then on the staff, you added Coach Ferry to the staff. I'm curious, what impact does he bring to the team dynamic?
So Coach Ferry has 19 years of head coaching experience. So that right there, that's going to help all of us. It's going to help me. It's going to help the staff. It's going to help the team, which is terrific. What I really tapped into and why I chose Jim was because of his having those experiences of 19 years. We need that. And then watching his teams over the last 15 years, his offensive mind, I really wanted to tap into. Even though we scored 72 points, which is a lot since 2001, I thought we could even get better and have some wrinkles here and there. And then the recruiting aspect, he's from New York. He has his own footprint for recruiting. So all that brings us a really valuable player or coach.
Now, if I dive into the schedule a little bit, something I thought was unique that you talked about a lot last year was bringing this team to different venues and having them have experiences like MSG and the Palestra. But now the opportunity to have Barclays Center in there. I'm curious, what's exciting about that?
Well, we're going back to New York. We had such a good fan base in New York. MSG, we had great crowd when we played Michigan, great crowd when we played St. John's. So I think, let's keep going back to New York and, going to Brooklyn and everybody's family can come because mostly everybody's within driving distance. So, and that's our footprint for recruiting. So there are a lot of exciting things. Penn State alums will come out, so it's going to be great.
And then if you think about the Big Ten, opening up in early December this year, I'm curious, is that unusual at all in terms of planning? Do you have to make any adjustments, especially knowing the gauntlet that is the Big Ten?
Yeah, you know what? Having the foreign tour has really put us ahead because we were able to have those 10 practices. So we might be a little bit further ahead than some other Big Ten teams right now because of having the foreign tour and 10 practices, 2 games, another practice. So we don't have to cram everything in to get ready. And then next thing you know, bam, you're playing 2 Big Ten games December 1st and 4th. It's insane. But I think because of the summer that we had, I think we'll be ready to go.
Well, Coach, that is all the time that we have this afternoon. We are certainly looking forward to getting back and seeing you guys in action.
Yeah, climb with us.